7 o'clock Toy Tuesday time. Looks like Bill is here and ready to go. Jim is on. 73 Buick Man is here. So, who's ready for a good time tonight? Got some cool stuff that I just picked up last weekend at the Wichita Swap Meet we're going to share with you tonight. A couple of cans and a couple of signs. So, we're going to have some fun with that stuff. Now, one thing about tonight is I'm not going to show you all the signs I bought. Because I found a couple signs that are going to be at the yard on April 20th for the Gathering of the Nobodies. So, you're not going to get to see them all. There's a couple of them tucked off over to the side that nobody's going to see until April 20th. One of them I think we'll put on the silent auction. And Bill Disk is here. The other one I think maybe we'll just give it away. Maybe we'll do some drawings and give it away. Alan's here and ready to go. So, Headstock's here. Glad you're here. Dennis is on. Ken Rule's ready to go. Ready for some Toy Tuesday. Got a couple of signs, a couple cans, and a handful of signs that I picked up that are going to be going to the collection. So Gary's here. We'll get into that, but like I said, you're not going to get to see them all because some of them you're not going to see until April 20th. So found some cool stuff that I think you guys are going to dig. Put it off to the side specifically for that. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started tonight and check some of this stuff out. We'll start off with a few cans and then move to the signs. Peter's here from down under. The Randall the Nut Farm is here. So anyway, let's flip this thing around and start checking some stuff out. All right. Now, we're going to start off with just a couple of basic quart cans. Numero uno is here. First can we're going to start off with is a little bit rough. Definitely rougher than I like to find them, but I don't have this one, and it's kind of unique. So I went ahead and grabbed it. It is a Phillips can, Phillips Trop Arctic, with the old orange shield, but it's blue. Not one I'm very familiar with. Pappy's here. This one, obviously, we've got paint loss. We've got surface rust. The bottom is actually rusted out of this can. But this is an original steel Trop Arctic quart. We can see the seam on it over here. Like I said, it is a little bit rough. But it's a great blue. Obviously, we're not, not a lot of blue Phillips cans out there. Even blue on the shield. Yep, more cats. So I thought this one was really different. Doesn't even have the 66 in it. We look over on the wall at the Phillips 66 shield. That's what we're, familiar with. Everybody's used to seeing that with the slanted 6.6, the black against the orange. But this one, blue without the 66. So thought that was a really unique can. The next can we're going to check out, also a quart that we didn't have. At least I don't think we had it. I may find one at some point, but I don't remember this one. It's kind of a cool one. Not an extremely rare one, but not one you see every day. For RPM motor oil, 100% pure paraffin-based RPM motor oil. This is also a quart. It is an early steel can as well. You see the metal seam on it right here. This one's obviously a lot better shape than the Phillips was. We can still pretty much read everything on this can. On the RPM. So, definitely excited about that one. Pete needs it. Unfortunately, there was only one of those, so it is a good one, though. Tim's on with us. All right, let's get into a few signs. I got 4 of them laying out here we're going to check out. The first one, if you saw the video, I found this when Jess and I were out walking around. I don't know why I needed it. I just thought it was kind of cool being kind of an 80s era Pepsi. Made to look like a plaque that would have hung in, like in a restaurant, pizza joint, bar. But it's, it's wood grain, but it's actually plastic. The whole thing is plastic. But like I said, I thought that was just definitely early 80s. I thought it was cool. Just the basic regular Pepsi logo. This is all just basically cast into a plastic piece. Jeff from Ottawa's here. This one, size-wise, just over 11 inches by about 8 1/4. So basically about the size of a sheet of paper, roughly. Ron, hanging out with us from England, it looks like. No, I think I'll keep it. I think it's cool. Ken agrees with me, 80s. That's why I just thought it popped out at me. I was like, yeah, what the heck? For $10, I got to have that. So we'll set that one over there. And believe it or not, I've only got one car sign out of all of this. This next one, just the colors is what did it for me, even though it has nothing to do with what we talk about on here. The colors were great. I thought it was really cool. There is definitely a collectability market for this, for barbershop stuff. It has the barbershop pole on it. Ask for Wild Root. This is a single-sided embossed tin sign. We look at the back, we can see how it's all stamped in there. It's got a little bit of surface rust on it. It's got a little bit of paint loss over here on the end. But some of that will polish out. This will come back pretty good. I don't know if we're going to get much of this out. This is obviously gone over here. But there again, just the colors really popped on it. It's a nice size. It's not huge. It's about 27 3/4 by almost 10. So not quite 2.5 feet by about 10 inches. And that's why I thought of old 73 Buick. Man, I just thought it was cool. Not necessarily what we do, but a cool piece. This next one, I don't know a thing about. But I thought it was cool, so I bought it. Maybe some of you guys know something about. Something that was never too sweet, never too sour. Sprig is here. Anybody ever seen a Sprig sign? Sprig soda? This one obviously has a bolt hole right in the middle of the bottle. And it definitely has some paint loss and some discoloration on it. But I just thought it was really cool. I've never seen it. I thought it was different. I thought it was unique. And I got it on a package deal with the next sign that we're going to see. So I thought, what the heck? This is, and I do like some soda pop stuff, as we've talked about on here. Okay, now I don't feel as bad. Some of you guys don't have any idea what it is either. So me and Ken are in the same boat. It's a nice size, just a cute size little sign, about the size of the palm of your hand. 9 inches in diameter on the cool little Sprig sign. Never too sweet, never too sour, Sprig. Birch beer, that maybe it is. I don't know. I just figured it was soda pop, and I looked at the bottle cap, but yeah, I thought it was a great wall hanger. Like I said, it's a nice size. It's different. It's cool. A swig of Sprig. That's right. I don't know why they didn't. Actually, that's probably what they should have used, a swig of Sprig. So let's reshuffle a few things here. And we've got one more sign I want to check out. And I actually ended up with 2 of these. Identical signs, only one was a little bit longer. And I left the other one with Dad, and I kept this one. And this is a rack sign. I don't think it's extremely rare, but it is cool. Neil's here, but I don't think I've seen this one. I've got some of these rack signs. I think we gave one away one time similar to this, but I've not seen this one for the Delco Dry Charge Batteries Freshness You Can See. This is a painted tin sign. It is double-sided because it would have gone on a rack. It had these little ends on them here that bolted together. I think this would have, we can see how those have a divot in them, like it would have went around the wire on the rack and clamped on both sides. This does still have both little attaching pieces on it as well. For the Delco Dry Charged Batteries Freshness You Can See. They still make Sprig. Pappy found out they still make Sprig. That one is about 25 inches by about 6 1/4 high at the peak. So that one's just a hair over 2 foot. Nesbitt's product. That's interesting. Sweet. So the other one is I got this exact sign, and it's probably about 3 foot. It's a little bit longer. And but other than that, it looks basically identical, other than slightly larger. But like I said, they were basically the same thing. So I kept one, and Dad kept one. So we both got one for our shops for the to add to our sign collection. So yeah, and believe it or not, Dad's probably got just about as many signs as I do. So yeah, kind of crazy to think about, because I got signs stacked everywhere. So there's the collection of what came home from the Wichita swap meet for our collection this year. So that's all I'm going to show you. But let's talk about the other ones. Need a sign tour? We got, yeah, well, and actually, I mean, that would be all the walls, all the piles. There's piles of them over in the other building. So they're stacked everywhere. But yeah, we could do that. Just kind of take a block and like check about 3 or 4 signs out. That's always a possibility as well on some of these Toy Tuesdays. Maybe they'll quit buying stuff. Maybe we'll have to do that sometime. Now that hat fits just fine on Jess's head, not my head. So, but anyway, back to the other signs. They're right over there. I can see them. You can't. But some of you guys are going to see them April 20th. Like I said, I think one of them will be a door prize, and I think one of them is going to be a silent auction piece. So we're going to have some cool stuff for the silent auction. I want to do some drawings for the guys that are here. We got a lot of cool stuff planned. Pete and I have been talking a lot. Rico's had some cool ideas. So I got the holster. Rico got the spurs. Yeah. So it's going to be a fun time. So I've been gathering a few things up for April 20th for the gathering of the Nobodies. And please, if you're thinking about being here, make sure you email Pete and get on that. And then and who knows, we're going to have a decent group here April 20th the way it looks. So just want to let you guys know I'm thinking about it. We're going to have some cool stuff there that day. And, I'll have a lot of stuff that, there's a lot of stuff sitting out there that I'll sell too. Lots of cans out there, gas pumps, there's some signs out there I'd probably sell. So we got a lot of cool stuff. It's going to be a fun day. But perfect, Tim, that's awesome. And the reason we want to do that is if you're a maybe is if we get to the point where we may have to cap it, I want to be able to check in with everybody that is a maybe and say, are you in or are you out? Because it may be getting to the point where, I want to be very cautious about how we do this, how many people we've got out there, so that we do it right. I can't be everywhere at once. I can't, show people where certain cars are at, but Dad will be out there. Rico knows the yard pretty well, so we've got some extra help there. I'm sure that would definitely be a killer for you, Peter. But yes, I'm in Kansas. But it's going to be a fun time. I think we're going to have a great time. But anyway, we're going to We're getting ready to wind this one down. We'll give you one more quick look at the goodies from the Wichita, Kansas Sunflower for Charity swap meet that came home with me for our collection. The Pepsi sign, the RPM can, the Trop Arctic Phillips can. The Sprig. Disc brake rotor toss, yeah. The Wild Root single-sided embossed tin and the double-sided painted tin Delco batteries. Glad you enjoyed it, Ken. Glad you enjoyed it, Peter. I think it will be a good time. Like I said, I'm surprised, but not I'm surprised, but also flattered that you guys believe in what we do enough here to be willing to spend your time and money to travel here and meet the other nobodies and hang out for the gathering of the nobodies. So, but yeah, even though it's not a huge sign haul, still pretty happy with it. Still some pretty cool stuff, and still excited to add them to the collection. So, story on the Packard or the Tidal. Okay, we can squeeze those in real quick if you guys want to do that. Let's. We'll just do one tonight. We'll do the Packard tonight, and then we'll do the Tidal next week. We'll take a closer look at it. So let's run back. And next week, Peter, remind me that we're going to do that and catch the Tidal next week. So I'm going to hold this thing up, give you a good look at the Packard. It does have some damage. It is a 48-inch, double-sided porcelain Packard. So, there she is. That is a hole right there in the K. Somebody literally cut a hole in the middle of the K. Don't know why. Don't know if they were making a table out of it and they wanted to put an awning over it. But other than the fact they chopped a hole right in the middle of the K, this is a pretty decent sign. You can obviously see it's got great gloss on it. Let's see if we can kind of stick the camera back behind it just a little bit here. There you can kind of see the back side of it, a little bit of it. It's fairly close to the wall there, so it's a little bit tricky. Yep, it is a beautiful sign. That's why we snagged it. That's actually one that we've got two of. Dad has that one, and I've got it as well. So Dad and I both have that 48-inch double-sided porcelain Packard dealer sign. Yeah, exactly. Kind of like the Sprig sign. That sign I actually bought from Robbie Wolf. One time when we were up in Iowa, I actually met Robbie in 2015, I think, at the Nashville store. Him and I got to chatting and got to talking about cars and stuff, and I showed him pictures of the yard. So obviously him and I got along pretty well. So next time we went to Iowa, we got a hold of him and stopped by and seen him, and he had just got that sign in. A little bit tough to see since it's hanging up there, but hopefully that gets you guys close enough to get you a decent look. But man, if that thing didn't have a hole in the middle of it, that would be an epic sign. However, if it didn't have a hole in the middle of it, I probably wouldn't have been able to afford it either. So that's something else you got to kind of think about. So you got to kind of put it into perspective. You know, you can deal with some of that stuff. Most of this stuff isn't perfect anyway. You know, it's obviously got some age to it. It's had sometimes a very rough life on some of this stuff. But like I said, I was excited to get it. It's a beautiful sign, great gloss, great colors, and I was geeked about it. So Addie and I were both pretty excited when we snagged that one and got that up at Robbie's shop. So anyhow, I guess that'll about wrap us up for tonight. One more quick look for anybody that jumped on late. There's the goodies from the Wichita, Kansas Sunflower Swap Meet for Charity that came home for our collection. And I'm pretty excited about all of them. And like I said, there's a couple of them hiding right over there that you guys aren't going to see until April 20th, as well as some other cool stuff I've been digging out. There's some of this stuff that, shipping would be kind of a killer on. If it's a $100, $150 piece, you don't want to spend $50 or $60 shipping it. I've got some pieces like that. They're going to be out there on the silent auction. Because when you can throw them in your pickup and take them home, it's pretty simple. So we've got some cool stuff that this stuff, now that you guys are bringing this to life, and I say that sincerely, you guys are bringing this to life, because this isn't me. This is you guys making this happen. Like I said, Pete and Rico and I were bouncing ideas around, and we got some cool things, and we're starting to look at what we got to do for food, what we got to do to meat, things like that, and it's going to be a good time. So you got to throw it on an airplane. So we'll have some smaller stuff too, Bill, that maybe you'll be able to get in your suitcase. So, we got a lot of ideas. We got a little over a month, and so we don't have a ton of time, but we've got a lot of ideas, and we'll see how many of those we can make come together. The count's going to be very important. Like I said, we got to figure out food. If we're going to have somebody come out, I got to be able to tell them how many people they're going to have to serve. Yeah, that would be a long snorkel, Peter, that's for sure. I've got some ideas that I'm thinking about maybe we can do for our attendees that day. But that's why that count is going to be critical to know who's going to be here. So we know how to handle a lot of these things. So, but you guys are jumping on board, and I super appreciate it, and I'm humbled by the support for something like this coming from you guys. So it's awesome. So, but anyway, we'll get some more content up this week. I got some stuff from my buddy's yard. I got a ton of new inventory to share with you guys. I had a super cool car hit the ground today. We won't have the video ready in time, but it'll get it up here in the next week or two. But really awesome car that just showed up today. I'm excited about it. I hope you guys will be too. But a lot of cool stuff we haven't done content on yet. So we've got a lot of that coming up. Still got a few Pit State videos to share with you, and a lot of exciting things happening. So stay tuned. We'll have some more new content up tomorrow night as well as Friday night. And then we'll be right back here live 7 o'clock Sunday night for some Sunday night live chat. Old stuff brings good people together. I agree with that, Ron. And we've got a textbook example of that right on here with this group of nobodies. Which Camaro, Pete? Which one are we talking about? That's awesome, Peter. Just the fact that that's what's great about you guys is even the guys that can't make it are still supportive of it, and it's awesome. So, but I do need to do the 71 Camaro video. The 68 is not here yet. That's the one I just bought actually as we were jumping on live Sunday night. I got a text back on that. Both, okay. I had another idea for a video too, though. I had an idea that maybe I should do a Count My F-Bodies video. I thought that'd be kind of funny to do the Count the F-Bodies video. Nut Farm like the Chevy truck. That's a pretty good old truck. It really is a pretty decent old truck. But I thought Count the F-Bodies might be a fun video. But yeah, we got to do one. The 71 is here. The 68 is not here yet. But we will definitely get those squeezed in as soon as we can. Maybe if it's calm tomorrow, maybe I can shoot the 71. Just depends on how much wind we've got. But lots of cool stuff coming up. And then, of course, we'll be right back here 7 o'clock Sunday night for some Sunday night live chat. We should hope to see you all then. So, Pete works for free on that. I'm sure I would. As most of you guys know, I'm definitely a Trans Am guy, but I got a slug of Camaros too. So maybe I'll do maybe we can do a Count the F-Bodies video. So it'll take a while to do that. But it'd be a lot of fun. So anyway, thanks for stopping by tonight, guys. I'm going to get back to work. Hope you guys all have a great week. Stay tuned for the new videos coming up. And we should hope to see you all right back here Sunday night for some Sunday night live chat. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good point, Tim. Maybe you'll win the lottery. Then you come buy a bunch of them. So thanks for watching, everybody.